Hello, this video is a walkthrough of Google Drive, which is your online storage box where you can store any of your files, your word processing documents, your pictures, any types of folders you may have online so you have access to them at school, at home, on your phone. So what I'll be doing is I'll go over how to look and name and organize your files and folders. We'll look at the functions and features of Drive, such as the search box, the icons, notifications, and settings within Google Drive, how to sort, view, and star your files. We'll also be taking a look at the side panel and how to access the Google tools from that panel. And we'll talk about how to share files within Google Drive. So what you'll need to do first is in the top right corner is sign into your Google file, or your Google login, which is the blue box in the top right corner. You'll enter your username and your password. And to access Google Drive, you'll need to come up to the icon here with the 9 black boxes and click on Drive. So this will take you to the home screen of your Google Drive, and as you can see, I already have folders up here and files in my Google Drive. The first time that you access your Drive, you will not have any files or folders, obviously, but you can easily create and upload files and folders, as I'll go on to show you later in this video. So the first thing that I'd like to show you, at the top of the screen you have your search box, and in the search box you can search for the files and folders that you have. You can search for things based on what type of document it is. So if I can't remember the name that I used, I could simply remember that, hey, it was a PDF. I can click on the PDF here, and then anything that had a PDF was a PDF file would show up in my search results. So what's nice about this too is as I start to search for a file or folder, it will pop up as I name it. So let's say that I want to look for a field trip file or folder. So as I start to type in field trip, I get field typed in. I see that the 2007 field trip folder pops up, as well as a field trip picture that was stored on Drive as well. So just a very easy and quick way to search for files and folders instead of going through them and searching through them through your Drive manually. Off to the right here you have your icons button for all of your Google apps that come with. We have our notifications box here, which will notify you if someone shared a file with you or anything else that pertains to your Google Drive. Over here is the your icon for your Google account, and you can upload a picture so that your picture shows in this spot right here. Here's the settings icon, where you'll be able to access different options within your Google Drive. Some of those options have to do with the language, whether or not you want to sync your files when you're offline. You can choose your density, which changes the amount of files and folders that you can see on your screen. You also have this quick access button here, which is kind of nice. If I click that, come up here and click done, and hit the refresh button, what you'll see is towards the top of your Drive screen will be files and folders that you have recently edited. So those things that you modify last are probably the files that you'll most need to work with. So if you have this quick access enabled, then you'll be able to quickly choose those when you come into your Google Drive. Next to that is a question mark here. This is just more of a kind of a help button. We have an informational icon here, so if I want to see certain details about a certain file, I can click on that file, and we'll be able to get certain information on that. So over here we have activity, so when we renamed it, when we accessed it last, when we edited it, that's the information you'll get by clicking on that. On the details here, you'll get kind of a preview of that file, what it looks like, whether it's shared or not, and just other types of information that you may want to see. Right now, since I have a file clicked, there are other options available that I'll go over here in a little while. If I click off of that, you can see that those go away. So up towards the top here, I also have a view option, where right now I have this listed as a grid option. I can change it so that my view is in a list view, and you'll see that the files are shown in a list view. I prefer a grid view, so I'm going to change that back. So those are the different views that you have. Another option that you have within Google Drive is as far as organizing your folders is that you can change the color. So if I want to change my technology folder here, I can come up here, right click, and change color, and then I can change it so that my technology folder is a green color. Let's say I want to keep my field trips in a blue color, so I'll come up here, I'll change it to blue. just another way to organize your folders so that you can quickly see which folder you like to work with. You do not have that option with the individual files. But one thing you can do with your files is you can star them. So if I right click on this, it's already starred, so I'll remove the star, and if I right click and I click add star to it, what it'll do is it'll just give this certain file specific priority over other files. So on the left panel here, if I click on starred, you can see that file pops up as a priority compared to the other files. Just another way to organize and quick access some of the files that you might find more important. So on the left side, I'm going to come back to my drive here, get back to my original view, and talk about some of the other things that we have available in Google Drive. So up here on my drive, you can click a new folder, upload files, upload folders, and then have access to the other tools that are available through Google. If I come over here and click new, we have those same options there. So obviously, if I want to add a folder, we'll name it sample 2. It will come into my drive right away. So right now I have them my folders organized in a way that they are listed by the date that they've been modified. So if I'd like to change that, I can click up here and choose name, and it will organize them in alphabetical order. And I can obviously with this arrow change whether that's a reverse order or not. You also have the ability to upload a certain file from your PC that you have stored on your hard drive. You can upload an entire folder if you'd like to do that as well. So just a good way to take files that you have on your computer and back them up online in your Google Drive. Also, in this button here, you have the options to start accessing the Google Apps. Google Docs is a web processing tool that it's very similar to Microsoft Word, where you're able to create Word documents. If I come back here, I have the option to, and this is what's really great about Google Drive, is I don't have to necessarily go to that program, open it up, and start a new file. I can come right to Google Drive, click on that app, and it will automatically start a new file. So this is a spreadsheet, very similar to Microsoft Excel. If I go back into Drive here, another tool that we have available is Google Slides, which is very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. You'll see the layout's the same. You can choose from different themes off to the side. If we go back, besides those three, you also have access to some of the other tools, such as Google Forms, which is an online survey, very similar to something like SurveyMonkey. You can create surveys, tests, quizzes. Just a very cool tool to use. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to access Google Drawings, which is a tool to edit your pictures that you have. You can draw on top of those pictures. Very cool tool to use. Another tool that you can access right from your drive is Google Maps. So you can use any of the functions that Google Maps would allow you to use. And the last one is Google Sites, which is a tool that is used for web page creation. So those are the ones that come by default in your Google Drive. You can click on here and also add more apps if you found a certain app that you'd like to use as well. So very, very cool to be able to access all these tools right from your Google Drive. Saves quite a bit of time as well. On the left panel here, we have your drive. So that's when I click on that, you'll see all the files and folders pop up. But if I click on the arrow here on the left side, you also see that my folders come up, and I'm able to access folders on the left side too. So this would be beneficial if you have, say, 50 folders and you don't want to scroll down to find that folder. You can come off to the side here and find it as well. I also like that they change the colors of those folders that we changed earlier, also show up with the color showing on that as well. We'll get to the shared function here in a little bit. Recent, just again, like the name implies, any folder that you've worked with recently will pop up in this recent tab here. Google Photos is just a folder where if you want to store your photos in this spot here, this is where you're able to do that. We've already gone over the start function here. Trash is obviously where any of your files that you've deleted will go. Know that you will only have about 30 days before Google will permanently delete these files. So that's something to keep in mind when you do delete something. So I'll go back into my drive here and finish up with the sharing aspect of Google Drive. So I'm able to share any folder, any file in my drive with anyone I'd like to share it with. So if I would like to share my sample folder here, I can click on that sample folder and I can come up here and I can click the share sample, and what I'll do is I'll click on that here in a second, and I can just enter the email of the person I'd like to share it with. I can also get shareable link. If I click on that, what it'll do is it says link sharing off. I want to make sure that's on so that I can share a link. They'll give me a link, and then I can enter that into an email, a website, and then that will allow people to click on the link and access the file that I am sharing. If I click on this icon here, I'm able to share it with a specific person, so I can enter their email address. And once I've done that, then I can choose what I'd like them to be able to do. So I can allow them to organize and add and edit the file, or I can have it so that they can only view it. If I click on Advanced here, this has the link with it. I can change who has access to it. So if it's private, only I can access it, but I can change it so that people within my domain can access it. I can give it to anyone on a link, or I can put it on the web so people can search for it as well. So those are some of the advanced options that you have. Now once I do share it, you'll notice that an icon will pop up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this again. And I've right-clicked it this time. I'm going to click Share. And I'm going to share it with my FHSU account. So when I send that, you'll see that an icon pops up in the folder with a little person, and that just tells you that that file or that folder is being shared. And I can do the same thing with a specific file as well. So this is an overview of your Google Drive and some of the things that you're able to do inside of it. It's a very, very useful tool, very convenient to use.